Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. On this video, I will demonstrate multiple AB versions using the built-in versioning support. Let me walk you through the step-by-step approach with clear example. So let us open Visual Studio and open up the AP project which we have created. So this is a simple AP project, and first let us try to install the required dependency for this demo. So in order to do that, just click on the dependencies and go for the manage NuGet packages, and let us try to search for the package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core .mbc.versioning. Yeah, this is the NuGet package we want. So let's try to select and add the package. Accept. So let it install. Okay, I guess the package is installed. Yes, so it is installed, and let us flip to program.cs file to make the required changes. And what we'll have to make is, so builder dot services dot add AP versioning. So we can say option gives alright. So what we'll have to set is, so default app version we'll have to set default AP version. So default AP version equal to new AP version. So by this we are saying what is the default AP version. So let's say default version is 1. I think we'll have to give this way, and let us also specify assume default version when unspecified. So this is the fallback to default if not specified. Okay, so if we don't specify any version, so this version will be used. So if that option is need to be enabled, so we'll have to say true. And the next one, report AP versions. Report AP versions also true, we are saying. Alright, so this is the config or piece of code that we need in the program.cs file. So let us try to add a new controller. So let's right click on the controllers, add a new file, and under the ASP.NET Core template, let us try to add the controller class, and let's name the controller as version controller. So let's create a controller, and let's get rid of the necessary comments, And as a first step, let's try to inherit from controller base instead of controller, because we are not going to return any view. And let's return a 200 OK response from this endpoint, and let us try to return a new object from here. Probably have the property, let's say version 1.0, and description something like, hey, this is a response from v1.0. okay, and let us also decorate the verb for this endpoint, so which is a get endpoint. Okay, this is the changes required on the endpoint level. So on the controller level, let us decorate first. Let's say let's include the API controller attribute, and we would need API version attribute as well, so let's include that as well. And in the API version attribute, let's specify the version for this. So let's say it's 1.0 version, and let us also have the route. So route is something like API/v, and the version, so version should be, this is the format, version : API version. And let's say here the controller name itself with the square bracket. So with this change, let's try to save the changes, and let's try to run the application, and let's see what happens. Okay, we could see application is building successfully, and the Swagger is also getting loaded. That's fine. Let's stop the application, and let us try to add the one more controller for the next version. So let's right click on the controllers, add a new file, and under the ASP.NET Core template, let's select the controller class, and this time let's name the controller as version 2 controller. And in the similar way, let's try to remove the unnecessary code, and first let's try to inherit from controller base, and here also let's return an OK response, and let us try to return a new object from here as well. So let's specify version 2, probably 2.0 here, and the description should be something like response from v2. okay, and let's also specify the verb for this endpoint. So this is also going to be a get endpoint, so let me decorate that with the http get attribute. And let's move on to the controller level changes. So on the controller level changes, we would require few attributes like how we specified in the version controller. So first one is API controller, so let's specify API controller, and let us specify API version as well. So the version is, let's say, 2.0, and let us specify the route something like API/v, and the actual version itself, so that will be something like this, API version, and the controller name in the square bracket. Okay, so with these changes, let's try to run the application, and what's the error it's having, has been thrown. Okay, so let's stop and let us check what we have in the second controller. So API/v version, API version, controller spelling is incorrect. Okay, with this change, let's try to run the application. Okay, Swagger gets loaded, and so right now here I'm not specifying any version, and let's see what version it is getting executed. Can you see API slash version 1? So that is because when we don't specify any version, version 1 gets invoked by default. That's the configuration we did in the program.cs file. So here we said default API version is 1.0, so that's why it is consuming the version 1 when we don't specify any version. So now let us try to invoke from the browser, so with the version 1, and let's see what is the response. So it says this is response from version 1, and on the other hand let us try to specify the version 2 and let's see what happens. So version 2 we are specifying, and it says the response from v2. On the other hand, let us try to specify some version which does not exist in our application, and can you see it is throwing error. So this is how we can use different versions in our web API project, and in the next session we will see the advanced concepts of API versioning in .NET Core.